If you're thinking of getting the xTool F2 Ultra UV right here, then you are in the right place. We are going to be running through the unboxing, the assembly, the setup, then the calibration, and finally the first test file. We're going through all of it in this tutorial. So this tutorial is specifically designed at new owners or someone who has got the machine on the way, who wants to get ahead of the curve and know exactly what you need to do when you get your laser and hit the ground running. If you need to learn those things, you are in the right place because we will be running through all of that today. Stick around and we'll get straight to it. So before we get through to the unboxing, I just wanted to let you know I will be doing a load of these videos. We're going to be doing another video straight after this, which is going to show the inner engraving crystal setup, the calibration, and the test file for that. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it. And then finally, we're going to be moving on to actual user cases where I'm going to be taking lots of engraving blanks, running through the full optimum settings for the UV laser, and we're going to be going through a whole suite of those materials. So if you want to learn that, stick around with the channel. Let's get straight to it. So now we've got everything set up, unboxed, we're good to go. We're going to set it up in xTool Studio. The first thing I wanted to bring your attention to was calibration, because it's going to ask us to calibrate. And you have been provided with one of these, which is a dotted calibration card, and also a pack of these, which is just a standard piece of card. These are different and you do need to use them for different calibrations. So bear that in mind when we're moving forward to make sure you do use the right one. So let's move on. So when you turn on xTool Studio, at this point, you need to have plugged in the USB into your actual laser and your PC. You'll be presented with this screen here, but at this point, we haven't got any devices found. So if you get to the point and you see that, make sure it's all plugged in and then click the refresh button as we're about to do now. So now that you can see it's recognizing our machine because we've got it plugged in via the USB, what we're going to do is click on it. You'll hear a beep, and then as you can see in the top right, if I zoom in here, it is now saying ready and connected. So that's step one done. Our machine is now connected. So what you'll probably get next is a calibration message. I've already ran through it once, so it didn't automatically pop up on my screen, but it may do it for you. But we are still going to run through this, and there is also a tutorial which we'll show you afterwards. So the first thing you want to do is read what it's saying, and it's saying make sure your base plate is clear, and also make sure the material is flat and the thickness is correct before we move on. We are happy that ours is like that. So let's click on Start Calibration. And this goes back to what I told you a minute ago. There are two different types of calibrations. Make sure you use this calibration paper, the clear one. We've got ours, and then it's going to say we want to take it onto our surface. So let's go and do that right now. So here we have our base plate, and then we have our piece of card with 2 bits of tape. And what we want to do is just position it centrally in the middle. It doesn't have to be exact. Get it so it's in the middle though, and then push your tape down. All it needs to do is make sure you've got this area clear. So make sure your tape doesn't really go much further than it's showing there. Okay, so we've taped it onto our surface. We're ready to click the next button now, so we will do that. And what it's going to do, it's going to autofocus the laser. You can probably hear it behind me. Now it's going to say close the protective cover. Then once we do that, we're going to click the engrave button just here, and then it is going to laser it. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to close that lid, and then I'm going to get ready to click this next button. So we've closed the lid, we're going to click engrave, and what it will do is it will beep, and that means you now need to press the actual keypad, your touchpad for your laser. It's going to produce 2 little burns, and then we're going to go to the next step. As you can see, it's saying it's ready to go, so we are going to set up and press that go button. So it's produced 2 marks on the actual paper, and we're now going to auto align using the software to do the next step. So now we've done that, we're going to click the next button, and what it will do is it will show us our screen. As you can see, it's showing the blue light and the UV laser, and it will initially place the points, the markers on there. But as you can see, you can manually drag it around, or you can actually use the auto alignment, which is just showing there. And what it should do is automatically locate them. So that's normally quite good. What I would say and what I would recommend is click that plus arrow if it will let you go in any further, or you can hold control and zoom the mouse button in the middle. And just maybe, if you want, use the arrow keys to manually adjust it just a little bit. And that's what I'm doing right now, because the auto alignment's pretty spot on normally, but in my case, it was a little bit out, and I'm glad it was because I got a chance to show you. So we're happy with that. We're now going to click next. What we'll do first is we will remove the paper, then we will come and click that calibrate button. It will recalibrate quickly. Then we'll remove the paper and check that those 2 dots are crossed over, and if they are, then we're good to go. There we go. I'm going to remove the paper now, and then what we will do is click that recalibrate button. So I'm going to click calibrate. It's going to do it, and now it's said it's measured the thickness. It allows us to click the next button, and now it wants us to remove the paper, which we've just done. We're going to check to see if those 2 dots are overlapping. If they are, then we are good to go. In this case, as you can see, our dots are overlapped, so we are happy. Calibration complete. Let's move back over. So we've just checked and we're happy. So it is overlapped. So down here in the bottom right, you'll see a black overlapped button. We're going to click on that, and then we are going to move on to the next step. And there you go. Calibration done. Well done, guys. So the other thing you'll be greeted with, if this is your first time running through it, is you will have the tutorial screen. If you're a seasoned veteran of xTool lasers, you've probably seen this before, but if you're brand new to it, you may not have. So I am going to run through this just so you can get a taste of what's to come, so that if your machine is coming in the future, you can hit the ground running. So the first thing we're going to do is click start the tutorial, and that will open up a new tab, and it will then start talking us through our first project. I have already placed my business card, as you can see the video showing you there, so I won't be doing that, but we're going to click done there. And then what it's going to do is it's going to step us through each kind of stage of this process. The first thing it's going to say is click on mode, and then select process on flat surface, which we have by default. It's then going to tell you to select your material, and it has a definitive default material that you can do. So click the apply button. It wants you to click the actual material first, then click the apply button. Then it's going to say use the auto measure. That's basically going to focus the lens of the laser to the optimum height from your object. So we'll do that. Behind me, you might see the light go off and the laser move up and down. Mine was very close to the actual focus point anyway, so it may not have moved. The next thing it's saying is edit the text. So you can double click the text. So what we'll do is zoom in. You can double click it and then put whatever you want. So we're going to put L3D test video. There you go. That's what we're putting on ours. Once you've done that, we're going to click that next button in the bottom right. So it's now saying for us to move this grouped box to the place that's central on the card. My card's not straight at the moment, but it's not a problem. We can fix that in a minute. So we've moved it where we want it. We're now going to click next again, and what it will say is click the process button and engrave. So at this point, if we were running a different project, we would click the frame button, we'd adjust it so it is straight. Actually, we can't do that in this tutorial, so we're just going to click that process button, and it's going to send it through. It's going to tell us our estimated time, 53 seconds in this case, because the UV has a very fine spot size, which means it's doing a lot of detail, which takes a little bit longer, but it has a better finish. So once we're happy with that, we're going to click start. It's going to beep, which tells us it's ready to be sent through, and it has been sent through. Now we can go over to the machine and we will process the job. So on our actual touchpad, you'll see the job is right here. We want to click this button when we are ready, and then that will start the engraving. So let's move on, set the camera up, and you can see it engraved. So there you go. We've finished our first engraving. It needs a bit of a wipe down. You can get a cloth to do that. But as you can see, beautiful first engraving. Such a good start. So there you have it. So there you have it. We have our first tutorial piece done. We have our laser set up. We have it calibrated and we are ready to move on to the next, which is the inner engraving. So check out the video. It's going to be released soon if it isn't already out. And if you're interested in getting an xTool F2 Ultra UV or any other xTool laser, check out those affiliate links below and use our exclusive discount code. You'll be supporting the channel, which allows me to make more of these great helpful videos for you guys. So once again, thank you for watching. Have a great day and I'll see you in the next one.